start the topic. Okay,
Sure.
thank you everyone. So we are here at our Wednesday sessions, and today's topic is emotional management, and our today's presenter is Vinita Puri. Vinita Puri is the Clinical Director of Resilience Counseling and Coaching Services, where she provides meditation, coaching, consulting, and mental health care services to individuals, families, and groups. Employee Assistance Program EAP support is provided to Dialogue Health Technologies and Homewood Health on a contractual basis. In addition to her clinical practice, Dr. Puri teaches graduate level courses for Western State University, California, and supervises dissertation students within the Doctorate of Business Administration, DBA, Master of Business Administration, MBA, and MSc. Dr. Puri has a PhD in psychology, a master in criminological research, a master in social work, and specialized honor BA in sociology. She is a registered social worker and accredited family mediator. So, welcome, Dr. Vanita ji. So, now you can start your
Hey,
session.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you. Yeah, so I appreciate to being invited to speak to all of you. Every time I hear my bio, I'm I've always taken learning as a daily practice. To me, it's not the degrees, it's the experiences that I've built. The more I learn, I realize I have a lot to learn. It's never an ending. It's only a beginning because knowledge creates more questions and it makes us reflect on things differently. And so this is sort of what I was talking about with the word resilience has always appealed to me. There's been challenges in life, but being able to navigate those challenges and helping others do that in the process, that has been a very humbling experience for me. So I want to thank Malton Women's Council for inviting me today. It means a lot to me. I really respect the organization, all the amazing work that you do, the advocacy you do for clients, the empowerment and support that you provide for people in the community. So thank you for all that you do. I'll just take, I think Mr. Indrajit's hand is up. I'll take that question and then we'll begin our workshop today. Go ahead, Mr. Indrajit.
Yeah, I'm just adding to the topic.
Yeah.
The catalyst actually is a one element which do not take part in any chemical reaction, but it it retards or it accelerates. So when the challenges are there,
Mm-hmm.
transformation occurs very fast because of the challenges, because it forces us to find the solutions, to know your potentiality and new avenues and new friends also
Absolutely.
in overcoming the challenges. So this is a actually transformation of any personality. Hmm.
And thank you for sharing that. We theoretically, you're absolutely right, and I know all of us, we're very positive, and we believe in that, and that's true. But as a mental health therapist, I know that some people have greater resiliency than others. And that's for various reasons. Some people have experienced a lot of trauma, unfortunately. Some people are not. Don't believe in themselves. They are demotivated easily. There's many reasons why not everybody we cannot say will definitely bounce back in the same way. We hope to. We hope to help people and support people, but some people need to be supported in different ways. And um, this is a humbling learning that I've had to learn. There's no magic formula or recipe that works for everybody. We're all different and we're all unique. Even if we're part of the same culture, there's so much diversity within our own communities, within people's own personalities, their families, and so forth. So this brings to mind my land acknowledgement. We are on Indigenous territory, and it's very important to the work that I do as a social worker because I recognize that, yes, I'm Indian background. I was born in Canada, but this is Turtle Island, and there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge from the Indigenous people that I've learned. Just like Geeta ji as well, I've worked in the criminal justice system for many years, and I've also had the opportunity to work with First Nations communities across Canada. And I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot about wellness and healing and post-traumatic growth and resiliency. So I think, as much as we've all had different experiences, it's important that we recognize where we are. We're in Canada. We're in the unceded territory of the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people. And if you're interested in learning more about land acknowledgements, there is a very good website called Whose Land, and it actually shows you what part of Canada, which territory we can acknowledge in terms of ancestry. So just to set the tone for today, I know we've started to talk like friends, which is great. It's nice that everybody knows each other and there's that level of comfort. But in case there are some new people who come in, and also just for our general expectations for how we want to run this workshop, some of the things we talk about could trigger some painful memories or feelings for us. And it's okay to not respond if you feel you want to step away from the computer, if you want to go and get some water, calm down, if you don't want to come back, if you want to let us know privately in the chat box that, if something is offensive to you or is creating some level of anxiety for you, please do let us know, because the only way we really learn and share is if we express ourselves, but some people might find what other people are saying triggering. So it's important that we respect everyone's opinion. Some people might disagree. And I like that. I actually love debate in the classes I teach. I think it's important to have different perspectives, but we want to respect everyone's experiences. We want to maintain confidentiality. Can anyone tell me here? I'm sure you know, but just for the sake of it, what does confidentiality mean when we're talking about in a group setting like this, where we're talking and it's like an open link? Anyone can share something very personal, something that's happened to them. What does it mean to maintain confidentiality, and why is that important for today?
Um, Actually, everything cannot be shared. Some people are hesitant to share about their feelings, about the events that had happened in their life. Confidentiality means that we are sharing certain things in a group where nobody is making fun of the event that we are sharing of. We have to be very, compassionate about others' feelings
Right.
and pay respect to it. This is, I feel.
So respecting lived experience is one thing, but confidentiality is a
Is
slightly
that you should not share it with others without
so
the knowledge of the
correct.
person who was shared.
Correct. So just to maintain some organization today, if you can please raise your hand before you speak, just so I know who's going to
I'm
talk.
in a meeting
Otherwise,
now.
people will talk over each other. And if you can maybe type in the chat box if you have another comment that you'd like to add, that would be great. Can anyone tell me what confidentiality means? It comes from the word confidence. Yes.
Vanita ji,
Yep.
Ella write in the chat box what happens in Hollywood stays in Hollywood.
That doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Means,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be kept private, not
It should,
just
yeah.
yes, you're
not
right.
shouldn't,
So
it
my
shouldn't be
question is,
public.
mhm. My question is, why is that important? So why is it important to keep
Because
things?
the person who is sharing should not feel hurt or bad.
Okay. Okay. Uzma, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I just want to share something here
Yeah.
that yes, confidentiality is here, but be mindful that this is live stream. We are recording this and it will be on YouTube.
Correct.
Okay.
If somebody wants to say something and they don't want to record, we will try to stop recording. We will try. So let that be at the end if possible.
Yes.
नंबर 2, अगर आप में से किसी को जबान समझ नहीं आ रही, आपको चाहिए ट्रांसलेशन हो तो बता दीजिएगा। वनीता मुझे पता है बहुत ही आराम से इंग्लिश बोलती हैं, शी इज़ मोर कंफर्टेबल इन इंग्लिश। हाउएवर अगर समझ नहीं आई तो वो कहीं ना कहीं पंजाबी में कर देंगी और ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो गुलनाज जो हैं वो फिर उर्दू में कर देंगी या हिंदी में कर देंगी। सो जैसे आपको बताना चाह रही थी, बहुत आसान ज़बान है, कोशिश है कि हम सबको समझ आ जाए, फिर भी नहीं। और वनीता ने एक बात कही थी, इफ फॉर एनी रीजन कुछ ट्रिगर हो जाता है, आप अनकंफर्टेबल होते हैं, आप छोड़ना चाहते हैं, या अगर आपको लगे यू नीड टू टॉक टू समवन, मैं अपना नंबर यहाँ टाइप कर रही हूँ,
You.
आप मुझे उसी वक्त कॉल कर सकते हैं, हम बात कर सकते हैं। मैं एक और मीटिंग में हूंगी, हाउ एवर वो मीटिंग इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है कि मैं आपकी कॉल ना ले सकूं, जस्ट इन केस आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग इट विद
Thank you.
एवरीवन।
Thank you so
So
much. Yeah.
so I hope, Vanita, it's okay that what I
Yes,
shared here.
yes, no, thank you. That really, really helps a lot. Yeah, and you're right. This is going to be on YouTube, so just be mindful if you don't want things to be out there, then also it's our responsibility as well to know what is safe, what we feel comfortable disclosing. Knowing that all knowledge it can help people, but we have to be careful about how it affects us, right? So we'll take one last point from Mr. Inderjeet, and then we'll carry on. Go ahead.
Uh, you asked about the confidentiality.
Yes.
The confidentiality is required because this also gives you integrity also. Someone
Right.
is telling you to in person, and he has a faith, he or she has a faith in you. He has expressed his views or emotion or incident.
Mm-hmm.
If you express to someone else, then you lose the faith and integrity, and next time nobody will like to share the things. So
Correct.
maintaining confidentiality is very important, not because of privacy, but
Right.
your relation in future also.
Yeah, no, that's very good. So the word, it comes from the word confidence. So if I'm saying I feel confident that I can share something important with you, this means that I trust you. And trust, we know, is the foundation of any relationship in life, whether it's friendship, whether it's romantic relationship, with kids, with coworkers. You need to trust that what you disclose, it is respected, it is honored as private. And unless you give express consent to say I'm okay with sharing this information, please do not do that. So trust is important for people to feel safe in this group so we can talk. Now, I'd also like to suggest if you have a pen and paper, because I am a teacher, I do ask you to take notes, and I will be giving you various exercises throughout the workshop to think about. So I don't want everyone to talk at once. I want you to process. So this is a skill that we learn. You want to reflect on what I'm asking you, write the answers to yourself, and then when I say, okay, does anybody want to share? You're welcome to, at that point, share your ideas. Okay? So let's start with the first thing. Let's pause and consider how our emotional world has changed in the past year. So what do I mean by that? So life changes, we know people change. I'm not sure if you know this, but every 7 years, our entire physiology, our entire body changes. Our cell, every single cell in our body is replaced. But how is that possible when we know people are, they have the same habits maybe as 20 years ago, or the same personality as before? It's because we have habits. And if we stay that way, then we will be programming each cell the same way again and again and again, but it doesn't have to be that way. So if we just look back in the past year, this time last year, write it down on your piece of paper. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you talking to? What emotional experience do you recall from this time last year, summer, August of 2025? What was going on in your emotional life? So emotional life means relationships, your feelings, an experience that you might have had. Maybe you were on vacation, maybe something that was sentimental that was happening in your life, something meaningful that was happening in your life. Anything you can think of, just sort of write it down. I know some of you, like Geeta ji, are artistic people. You're welcome to also draw that experience. You don't have to use verbal words. You can draw an image of that emotional world as well. So I'll give you a minute to do that.
Yeah. Should I say?
Would you like to say something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
With the passage of time, everything is changing after a few years or some time because this world is progressing day by day. People, they are growing and their thinking is also changing, and we are to live according to the whatever we are getting now at present, and those things were not present when we were child. And now our demands are different. We require different things, and relations they have
If I
also
can
changed.
I just want to stop you there. Sorry. This is a reflection exercise, so we will kind of take up some things after. But if you share that, then that might influence the way somebody answers the question. So we just want to have a minute where people can think about their own emotional world, and then we can talk about how that changes. But thank you for sharing that. Okay, I won't take any answers for now because I just want people to reflect.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Kilaji, write in the chat box, you overcome the pain, fear with the time.
Okay, okay. So the more specific you are, when I say emotional world, I'm talking about your own life, you, not in general with everybody in the world, but you specifically, your life. Tell me about your life, how it's changed from last year to this year. And some people, their life might not have changed very much. And some people, their life would have changed a lot.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Should I tell or not?
That is totally optional. You can share in the chat box, perhaps. I just want to give people some space to think a little bit, collect their own thoughts.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. There'll be plenty of other opportunities to participate, I assure you. Okay. So when I say emotional world, like I said, it could be a painful experience. It could also be a very happy experience. Some of you might also want to think about today, and that's okay. If you don't want to think about last year, you can think about today. What makes you calm today? Maybe you weren't calm about it last year, but now this year you have more clarity about the situation and you feel you can process the emotion a little bit better. Dhanpati, did you have your hand up? Did you want to ask something or say something?
No, I just wanted to the question that how has your emotional world changed? So I feel mine has changed dramatically. I was in India working full-time job, then retired. I was financially very independent, and my son and daughter-in-law, they are settled here. So I was in a very secure environment where when I was in India, I had a status, I had a reputation, I was very confident and comfortable. Suddenly I had to, after retirement, I had been a single parent. So for me, the decision was whether I have to continue there with all my this thing alone, or
Mm.
I come here and start staying with my son. Now it was a decision like from shifting to a driver side to the back seat. You are on the driving seat and suddenly you shift to the back seat. Because when I come here, so that was a very big emotional change. Country is
Transition.
different.
Yeah.
Country is different.
Would I be able to get you hold on to that thought? I just wanted to give people some time to reflect on their own things, but we'll come back to that if that's okay when we
Yeah.
get into transitions. Thank you. All right, so it seems like people are eager to move to the next, uh, you know, uh, part of this workshop. So we'll get there, and you can share examples, but just the interest of time, I think I might have to ask you to type your responses instead of everyone contributing, because I want to make sure I get through the material, if that's okay. So I want to talk a little bit about what different types of things could have happened this past year in your life. Some people, maybe you have more medical appointments, maybe more technology frustrations. Now there seems to be an app for everything. There seems to be a lot of cyber security stuff going on. You might
Mm.
have some mobility challenges. You might become a caregiver, or maybe people are caregiving you. You might have some financial concerns. There might be a lot of like things that have changed in the past year. And just an example that was just brought up right now, maybe some life transitions, doing something very different, maybe living in India and now living here, as Dhanpati had shared about her experience as well. Changing social circles, changing status, changing identity, all of these things could have happened in 1 year or more. And these things bring stress. When I ask you what the word stress means, how would you verbalize that word? People use the word stress for everything, it seems, these days. Everything is stress. But how would you explain stress and write it down on your piece of paper how you define stress for you? These are just some examples of stressors, but maybe you have other stressors that are not listed here. What do I mean by stressor?
Actually, we were very free in India, our back house. Now we are finding each and every step, on each and every step, we are facing something or other, anxiety, and we are unable to do that. If we say to our children that I want a medical appointment, for a few days they will be happy and they will take us. Otherwise, they will also be fed up and they started creating stress. And they're daily by all these points. If we are going to ask them daily, they will be fed up and they will make our life, you can say, dull. We are totally changed. Neither we can ask them to help us, nor we can do ourselves. So we become the patient of great stress. Even then, we took our courage and we try to do the things. And slowly, we are also mixing the social circles. So some of the people, they also become our helpers.
Yep.
And
Yep.
this create a reduction in saying to our children, I want this, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
slowly we will adjust.
that's a really good point. So essentially, everybody has things that responsibilities, duties, even to yourself, to your own health. But sometimes, if it's beyond your capacity, this is what all of these things have in common. If somebody, let's say they're frustrated with technology because they don't have those IT skills, or maybe there's new financial pressures, or maybe there's not enough time in the day to do certain things. So time, energy, capacity, all of these things can lead to stress. If you feel you're unable to handle the pressures that you're facing, that produces stress. Now, there's two types of stress. There's one that is called use.
Vanita, sorry to interrupt. In
Yeah.
chat box, Elaji wrote anxiety, uncertain future.
Yes. That's a great point, and it's very fitting with the current slide because we're looking at life transitions, and this is actually the empathy where you were talking. This is perfect place for what you were talking about before, in terms of life transitions, right? How your life has changed so much from what it was before to now. Um, there's a lot of anxiety, as you were mentioning, somebody was saying about the future. We don't know necessarily what things are going to look like. Uh, how many of you, just show of hands, I can say I know some people this year who've passed away, who died last year, um, sometimes suddenly, sometimes heart attack, or accident, especially when things happen without any preparation. That can be very stressful because, especially if somebody was an important part of your life and all of a sudden they're gone, or if you lost you had to become more independent. I know a couple of family friends where the husband passed away and then the wife had never driven a car or done banking or done any of that stuff. And then all of a sudden having to learn all of this in older age, it was a very hard transition for her. Feeling lonely because maybe for the first time being by yourself, feeling isolated, changing roles. Any of these things can happen to people, and sometimes very much like that. It's not by choice that we want change, but sometimes change comes to us, and we have to be able to adapt to those changes as well in life. Some people are able to adjust better than others. Tell me, guys, we were talking about resiliency before. What makes some people able to adapt better than others? What do you think? And write it down on your piece of paper. What things have made you adapt to stresses and changes, compared to maybe other people? And you're welcome to write in the chat box as well if you want, or your piece of paper, or I can get some examples here as well. What coping skills do you have or have developed over time to adjust and adapt to things?
Should I say or?
Yeah, anybody can share. Yeah.
Yes, I want to tell you that due to um, unable to walk properly, I had pain in my legs. So I ordered for one this mobility scooter.
Mm.
And I told my children to bring me that because I'm unable to walk, but they refused. Then I had money, so I ordered to Amazon and that came. But I can't tell you what behavior I had to face.
Mm.
They
Yes.
you are creating problem to us. You will fall down. You will get accident, and people will blame us, not to you. You can't drive this mobility aid or a scooter here.
Mm.
For 1 month, they were teasing me like any torturing me. So
Oh.
in the end, instead of going with the scooter, I returned that. And I had to adjust myself, sitting only at the home, nothing. I was unable to say them to help me or take a lift in their car. So I arranged for the what you health this what do you say transhelp.
SW?
Next
Trans.
transhelp.
Transfer. Okay.
So I arranged that, and whenever I now want to go there anywhere, I arrange that.
Arrange that.
So even then, stress is there in my mind. But I have to adjust because I have to live with them.
Well, I'm sorry what happened, but I mean, I'm glad that there is a solution, sort of. There's another resource, community resource that you can rely on for support. But that's really unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that. Dhanpati, go ahead.
Uh, for me, it was like I had to decide whether I want to be in my that cocoon and stay in India alone,
Mm,
or come here and face the uncertain world and the changing role.
yeah.
Now, because you can't have everything, so it was my decision, and I decided that okay, I can't, I don't want to stay alone. So this was
Mhm.
my decision. So
Yes,
number one, I have that acceptance that this is my decision. That
right,
has helped me a lot now, because it was my decision and that ownership is there. Now
right.
when I have come here, I'm trying to find my the friend circle, many good
Yeah,
friends I've made here.
yeah,
And but traveling and all that, I'm trying to, but I have to make a success of it, because it is
yes.
my decision and there's no going back now.
I really like this coping skill that's being described here. So you make a decision to take responsibility. That is a really, really important skill to learn how to accept things. Acceptance is not an easy thing to learn how to do. How do we cultivate acceptance? Acceptance means that we might not like the situation, but we have to ultimately accept the reality of the situation. If we don't accept it, we keep fighting it, fighting the reality, then we will never be happy, right? So, how do we do that? How do we teach ourselves to be flexible, to adjust, to move on? How do we do that? Any ideas? Yes, Miss
Um,
Geeta, go ahead.
Acceptance, my health, the sugar rose up suddenly because I didn't have medicine for one day.
Mm-hmm.
So sugar shot up to 21. So that was quite a lot. I visited the doctor, but I waited for my daughter to be free from her work. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to irritate her. Once we tell again and again, do this and do that, it is
Mm-hmm.
very irritating and frustrating. Children try their level best to please them, to keep their parents calm because they love them.
Mm-hmm.
If they love them, then they take care of them. But we should not take undue advantage of their love. We should also see, as parents, in what situation they are in. And we have to accept the delay. If it is delay for some days, it doesn't matter. I have changed the medicines and now I'm much better. My sugar is now 6.5. What do you want more?
Right.
So I find children are good. Only our acceptance that we want doctors just now,
So
which is
putting
available
yourself
in
in
India,
their
but
shoes,
not
you're
yet.
saying this is called social perspective taking. If we put ourselves in other people's shoes,
Yeah, and then do it.
understand their perspective, then we can help ourselves to accept the situation.
And also we can be better off. We
Yeah,
cannot, then we have no grudge against anybody, no ill feelings that they are not looking after us. This kind of thing can happen.
right.
What happened to me was I had allergy with some sun, frostbite or something,
Okay.
because window was open and all my hands had itching, too much itching,
Mm,
and my hands looked as if they're wounded, both the hand till the elbow. Now it's
mm,
all over. It's done. It's fine.
mhm,
We have to keep some, patience. As parents, we have to keep some patience. We are aging, so once we age, we are sometimes do injustice to our children, say something which is not very good. Sometimes we say something which is not, not very congenial for them to hear. But we say, we have to admit our faults also before looking into the faults of others. I feel it's better to look into your own fault and mend yourself and try to adjust. If you want to stay here, stay. If you don't want to stay here, be brave enough to stay alone.
okay, so I'm hearing different words. There's a lot of opinions, so I just want to emphasize again, we can't speak for everyone. For some people, it's harder than other people. But you can, when you're sharing your feedback, everyone, please just say, from my perspective, this is what works for me.
Yeah, this
But
is
we
from
can't
my
say that, yeah, we can't say everybody should do this and this
no,
is,
no, we can't say
no,
because
we
it is
can't say that.
everybody different.
Yeah, because some people have a very difficult, different type of situation than us.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
appreciate that feedback. And
Dr.
the
Vinita, there is
yes,
in chat box,
yes.
Elaji wrote that I watched last lecture, Randy Province, changed my perspective how to deal with any situation. And Inderjeet Ji Singh said that acceptance and awareness about system reduce stress.
Okay, I just want to take Miss Prabha's hand, and then I will get to those as well. So when we say system stresses, can you elaborate on that? Maybe in the chat box, Mr. Inderjeet, or you can raise your hand to clarify what you mean system stresses. You're right, there are system stresses, but how do we? My question for all of you was, how do you cope with it? Not what you should do, but how,
Uh,
right? That is the question, because we know that we should adjust, we should accept, but how do we do it? What is the skill? What do I need to learn to be
uh,
able to do
hello.
it? Miss Prabha, go ahead. Do you have your hand?
Hello,
Hello.
can I?
Yes?
Yeah, can I speak in Hindi?
Yes, of course.
I'm comfortable in Hindi actually.
Perfect.
So, जिस समय हम लोग बड़े कर रहे होते हैं बच्चों को,
Mhm,
उस समय हम लोगों की बहुत सारी हॉबीज, हम लोगों की बहुत सारी इच्छाएं दब जाती हैं उन सब कामों के लिए कि जो
mhm,
हम बच्चों को पालने में अपना योगदान दे रहे हैं, अपनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, अपना शरीर अपनी थकान भी कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे अपने अपने शौक मारते हैं। इस समय में जब बच्चे हमारे सेट हो जाते हैं, अच्छे तरीके से सेट हो जाते हैं, तो वो अपनी जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ रहे होते हैं। उस समय हम लोग क्या करें, कैसे करें, किस लिए करें, तो मैंने अपने आप को वो वाले शौक डेवलप करे जो मेरे रह गए थे। जैसे मैं एजुकेटर हूँ, 40 साल से एजुकेशन में थी, लेकिन यहाँ पर आके मैंने एजुकेशन को छोड़ा। तो मेरी दूसरी हॉबी थी एस्ट्रोलॉजर, तो मैंने एज ए एस्ट्रोलॉजर यहाँ पे काम करना शुरू कर दिया। बचपन से मुझे जो डांस का शौक था, डांस करने लग गई और भेजने लगी, पोएम्स वगैरह लिखने लग गई, जो पहले इतना समय नहीं मिलता था उनको भेजने लग गई, कभी सम्मेलन में भी बुलाई जाने लग गई। जरूरत ये वाली होती है कि जिस समय हम ओल्ड हो जाते हैं, तो हम लोगों को कुछ ऐसी एक्टिविटी मिल जाए या कोई प्लेटफॉर्म मिल जाए जिसमें हम लोग अपने आप को ये कह सकें कि यस वी आर यूजफुल स्टिल नाउ।
mhm. Yeah,
तो
yep. Hobby is very important.
तो वो जो चीज होती है जो बुढ़ापे में हम लोगों को पावर देती है, यस वी आर, हम जिंदा हैं, या अभी हम मजे कर रहे हैं, मजे कर सकते हैं, उन लोगों को अपनी जिंदगी के अपने हिसाब से मजे करने, बिकॉज उनके मजे हम लोगों से अलग हैं।
Mhm.
और हम लोग अपनी इच्छाएं जो दबा चुके थे उनको हम यूज कर सकते हैं। हमको ढूंढना चाहिए हमें किस किस चीज का शौक था, हम क्या करना चाहते थे, हम जो नहीं कर पाए। उसके लिए शर्म करने की जरूरत नहीं है। मैं डांस करने से शर्म नहीं करती, मैं गाना गाने से शर्म नहीं करती, मैं मस्ती करने से शर्म नहीं करती, बिल्कुल शर्म नहीं करती। जो मुझे मजा आता है मैं उसको वो ही काम करती हूँ। इस
And that,
तरीके से अलाइव
yeah.
करती हूँ। सबसे बड़ी जो मेरी ताकत है बुढ़ापे में, वो मेरी पूजा है।
Very good.
वो
Yeah,
मुझे बहुत पावर देती है।
yeah.
Thank you giving me the platform to say
Oh,
something.
no, thank you. No, puja, spirituality, very important. Hobbies, interests, very important. One of the other things that you've just said is getting in touch with who we are, right? Because, in the daily life, maybe many years have gone to the family, the children, and not really knowing who you are and being able to reflect on that. Maybe sometimes people are finally by themselves after all of these years and they're have to get to know themselves again from scratch. So how do we do that? So prayer is good. Also, we call it vitamin R. Vitamin R is relax. How do we get rid of stress? We relax. We learn how to relax. Some people don't know how to relax. Some people are always busy, 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 going, going, going. doing this thing and this thing, but relax. What does relax mean? It means calming our body, but also calming our mind and calming our spirit. So I want you to write down on your piece of paper. So I already have the example of puja. That's one example. Certain hobbies, like some people like to draw and paint, dance, we heard, music. What are other things that feed the soul and the spirit and the mind and the body? What are things that work for you? Now you can share or you don't have to share. You can write it on the paper or you can put it in the chat box. What types of things that work for you? And not all things will work for everybody. I can admire people who can do drawings and painting, but I am not a good artist. I don't, that's not something I do, but I admire people who do it. So everybody has different skills and that's okay, right? So, okay, going for outing, talking to friends, watching movies. Okay. Okay, so yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the best thing which I feel is to sit down in yourself and find out what you are. Go
Mm,
into your soul and find out what we are. जिस समय हम अपनी या योगा भी एक अपना वो है कि अगर हम योगा करें एक तो हेल्थ भी अच्छा होएगा और फिर हम अपने अंदर भी जा सकते हैं, झांक सकते हैं अपने आप को।
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very good, very good. Okay. So let's talk about breaks. Breaks are important. Having a set time each day to reflect, pause, pause from whatever you're doing, whether it's cooking or cleaning or doing something, just stop. And maybe doing puja, maybe doing some painting, whatever you're doing, taking a mini break in the day. Research shows it helps us to focus again. It gives us clarity, gives us energy. It can also improve with sleep quality. Um, it increases happiness and creativity and life satisfaction. So this is the importance of taking breaks. Now, different people need breaks at different times of the day. Do some of you take naps like in the afternoon, or is there a certain part of the day that you feel more tired than other times in the day? Do you go to sleep early? Like, what is your routine, if anybody would like to share? When would you take a mini break? When I say mini break, it's like 15, 20 minutes, half an hour at the most in the day.
Prabhaji, you want to share something?
Yes, go ahead.
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल। अभी जो हमारी जो भी एनर्जी है,
Mm-hmm.
इसकी जो भी बची है, ज्यादा तो हमारे पास ज्यादा एनर्जी नहीं होती। अपनी एनर्जी के हिसाब से हम लोग अपनी जो भी जिसमें हम लोगों का अपना अपनी हॉबी या अपना कोई भी क्रिएटिव थिंग, जो बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं। कईयों को बहुत ड्राइंग करना आता है,
Hmm.
कितने अच्छे अच्छे फ्लावर्स बना लेते हैं। कभी को कागज के फ्लावर्स भी बना लेते हैं कई लोग तो। क्या कितने लोगों के पास कितने कितनी
Gardening or yeah. Mm-hmm.
क्या इतनी एक्टिविटीज होती हैं कि मैं बता नहीं सकती। तो उस कैलिबर को अगर हम यूज करेंगे और अपने आप को ही हम कह रहे वाह क्या बनाया है दूसरा बोले या
Mm-hmm.
ना बोले।
Mm-hmm.
या
Yeah, it gives a joy and a sense of pride that you did.
हाँ, और फ्रेंड्स के साथ अगर हम मिल सकें, अपनी एज की फ्रेंड्स के साथ अगर हम मिल सकें किसी तरीके से, उनके साथ हम लोग जोक्स क्रिएट कर सकें।
Mm-hmm.
अगर हम जोक्स क्रिएट करने में थक जाएं तो ये जो है आपका अंताक्षरी तो बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है। अंताक्षरी में इतना समय गुजर जाता है
Yes.
कि कोई ना कोई गाना जो भूल पड़े हैं ना, वो भी वर्ड मिल जाता है तो वो वाले गाने आ जाते हैं याद।
Yep. Good.
और या मॉर्निंग वॉक बहुत अच्छी बात है। ये तो मैं समझती हूँ कि शायद बहुत ज्यादा जीवन का एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट स्टेप है कि हम लोगों को एक्टिव तो रहना चाहिए, चाहे मॉर्निंग वॉक करें, चाहे इवनिंग वॉक करें, चाहे कहीं कुछ भी करें, चाहे बाहर बर्फ पड़ी हुई है तो भी एक कुर्सी इधर रख के एक कुर्सी इधर रख के एट की तरह घूमे, अगर ज्यादा कमरा बड़ा नहीं है तो वहां घूमे, लेकिन घूमना इज अ वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड एक्सरसाइज। और इसके हिसाब से जब हम बाहर जाते हैं तो हमारा जो मूवमेंट होता है पैरों का, एक तो पैरों का एक्सरसाइज होता है, और हर मूवमेंट में हर स्टेप में घर बदलते हैं, सिचुएशंस बदलती हैं। कहीं फूल लगे हुए हैं किसी के घर में, कहीं किसी के घर में किसी और तरीके की सजावट है, कहीं हम लोगों को कुछ दूसरा दूसरा कुछ कुछ मिलता है, चेंजेस मिलते हैं, वातावरण भी चेंज होता है, घर की सिचुएशंस भी चेंज होती हैं। कहीं हमें लोग बाग घूम रहे हैं, कुत्ते घुमा रहे हैं, कुत्ते बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं देखने में, उनसे बातें बातें करें, बहुत अच्छा लगता है बाहर निकल के, जब लोगों से हम हंसते हैं, बिना बात में भी हम मुस्कुरा सकते हैं, हेलो हाउ आर यू डूइंग, ऐसे।
Danpati, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I agree with the ma'am Prabha has said.
Yeah.
But I feel all these things, yeah, they are very important. But we have to take care of our mental health also.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, unless we are, we take care of our mental health, these things won't really seem very important. Though they are, but they won't seem very important.
Right. Right. Right.
So I feel that we should spend at least 1 hour on our mental health, maybe, and then maybe if somebody does meditation or somebody does breath work, because
Yeah.
when unless your mind is calm,
Right.
you
So
cannot involve
yeah.
yourself in all these hobbies.
So, but this is not this is to clear your mind, right? So if you're meditating, if you're calming yourself, this is going to help your mind to feel more clear, right? So it affects it. So one thing I'd like for everybody to do on your piece of paper, I want you to draw a big circle and divide it into 4 quarters. Okay? Big circle and divide it into 4 quarters. So each of the quarters represent a different aspect of your health and your wellness. Now it's a circle because one thing affects the next thing, affects the next thing. So let's start with the first section. The first section is physical health. So you can write down the word physical in one of the quarters. Okay. And then just like you were saying, the next one would be mental health. So we put that in the second quarter. Now we have 2 more sections left. So we have physical, we have mental. What are the 2 other sections of health? Would anyone like to guess?
Emotional.
Yeah, emotional health. Very good. And the last one?
It's
Spiritual health.
Spiritual.
Very
Spiritual.
Okay, wonderful, guys. Okay, perfect. So each of those sections, they work together to make the person more resilient, more strong, more able to take on challenges and pressures and stresses and overcome adversity. So when I say physical health, we're talking about things like exercise, eating healthy, sleeping well, having good hygiene, right? Taking shower, cleaning face, washing your hair, all of those things is physical health. Okay. So that part is the easy part because we know what that is. We know what it means eating healthy, exercising, sleeping. Those are things that everybody talks about. Now let's move to the mental health. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between mental health and emotional health? We're talking about emotional balance today. In order to have the balance in the circle, what is the difference between emotional health and mental health? They're related, but they're different.
They are related.
Yep, everything is related, but it's different. So, if I ask you about what does a physically healthy person look like, we can see that person looks strong, they look physically, fit, right? We know what a physically healthy person looks like. If I say, what does an emotionally healthy person look like?
Happy.
Yes, very good. So write down the word happiness there on the side of emotional health. Now, the question is, what makes me happy? What makes me happy? Well, generally speaking, we talked about hobbies and interests. It can also be relationships. So if I have happy relationships, I have a good marriage, I have a good children, I have good friends, community, social support. That is a part of the emotional health. Okay. So it's about what makes me feel happy. It could be a temporary happiness. It doesn't have to be a long-term happiness. If it makes me happy to eat something sweet for dessert, or something just for fun, like playing antakshari or doing something, watching a movie, that is all emotional health. Okay. Now, mental health is different. It's related, but different. When I'm talking about mental functioning, I'm talking about things like memory, concentration, focus, problem solving, intellectual stimulation. It is a different,
Memories.
yes. So being able to recall information, be able to problem solve if there's a problem. I don't get emotionally stressed. I think about the logic and analyze things and use my brain. Okay, so it's like brain exercise. So if I see an mentally healthy person, what does that person look like? We know emotionally healthy is a happy person. What does a mentally healthy person look like? They're focused, they can concentrate, they
Alert.
alert, they're quick, they understand, they comprehend information. You read them instructions, they can tell you what you said, what you meant by it. They can analyze things, interpret things, question things, be curious, use their,
Intelligent.
yes. So they use their intellect. They can also have self-control. So if the emotional person in me says, "Oh, I'm having so much fun, I'm doing all of this," but it does not know how to regulate itself. Regulation means my brain says, "Okay, you ate enough junk food today, no more. You did too much of this thing. That's it." It stops you from doing too much of something. It sets boundaries and limitations. It helps you to organize things and it keeps you on track. So, what do we need to do to improve the brain, the mental capacity? Just like we gave examples for the emotional health, what can I do to improve my memory, concentration, intellect, all of those things I just finished talking about? What can I do?
Doing puzzles.
Yes, very good. Yeah, excellent. Yes.
Kudos
Yep.
and
Sudoku, yep.
also
Doing Sudoku or Sudoku
Candy
and
Crush.
Yes. Yes, those can help for sure. Other things that can help aside from those games, how about learning something new? Even learning a new hobby. Maybe I've never learned a new language, or a new thing. Anything new, new exposure to anything. And actually, if you change your habit, that
Yeah,
takes concentration and focus.
I want to share here something.
Sure.
In our previous session,
Hmm.
I forgot who told that we are stepping forward. If we do the backward steps,
Backward.
that also
Yeah.
help you to focus and to, I mean, to for
remember.
you. Yeah,
If you are not used to waking up and then exercising and eating you just have to retrain your brain to do something new.
brain yoga.
Or instead
Leela
of
ji said.
driving home the same way, maybe taking a different route.
Yeah.
Just to challenge your brain somehow.
Hmm.
Also card games, there's a memory game,
Card
you
game.
card game, you match them, you try to recall, or looking at old pictures, trying to remember who was that, what happened. Ask yourself, you read an article, newspaper article, or any book, ask yourself, what was that about? What did I read? What did I understand? So that is making the brain exercise. Yes, Prabhaji, go ahead.
या वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा गेम लगता है कि पहले आपने पोस्टर दिखाए, कुछ भी पेपर दिखाया, उसमें 15-20 चीजें हैं, उसके
हाँ,
बाद आपने हटा दिया और उसके बाद रिमेम्बर करके बताओ इसमें कितनी सारी हैं, तुम्हें कितनी याद रही। वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है मेरे को गेम।
Puzzled.
very good, very good.
या बहुत अच्छा लगता है
Yeah,
कि
very
कितने,
good.
जिसने फिर बोलो कि किसने ज्यादा लिखा, किसने ज्यादा लिखा, उसको जिस समय कहते हैं ना, क्या बोलते हैं, उनको शाबाशी मिलती है तो बहुत मजा आता है।
Puzzles different.
Very, very good game, yeah.
हाँ,
Surin, go ahead, Surin, you had your hand up.
So I have a question, Doctor.
Yeah.
Let's say I have a normal life. I'm a normal being who get up in the morning, uh, do my chores, and then rush to the work, come home, back home, attend my family
Mm-hmm.
in the chores, and then I go back to bed or attend my family, their emotional and physical need, because I need to give my time and attention to my family.
Yeah.
I need to participate in resources also. So everything I have to respect everybody. I have to understand my boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is one more task that I have to do. I have to take care of my physical health. I have to take care of my emotional health. I have to take care of my mental health. And I
Yeah.
also have to take care of
Nice.
my spiritual health.
Correct.
Other than that, I
Yeah.
have one more task assigned.
Mm-hmm.
That is to keep an eye on myself. Right?
Okay.
Whether whatever I am
That's
doing, if I am angry,
yeah.
then I have to judge myself. Is it emotional or is it
So that's mental. So
man? No, no,
self.
no. Allow me to complete it
Okay. Sure.
so
Sure.
that I can have your answer.
Sure. Sure.
Now that's if it stops just as myself, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now what happens is that I start judging other family members as well. If my wife is angry or annoyed or she's not so happy, then I start judging her mental health or maybe her emotional health.
Mm-hmm.
So what is happening is that I am increasing my tasks. So rather than these things making my life easier,
Mm-hmm.
they have burdened me with so many more tasks that I will lose my mental health for sure, if not physical health.
Mm-hmm.
What is the way that we can be better people without dividing ourselves into tiny bricks or tiny parts?
Mm-hmm.
How can we be one person, like so that we can take care of one to one rather than making divisions and attending this talk?
So
That's my
I thank you for the question. I actually think that it's the opposite of what you're saying. So it's a holistic health model, and the idea is that the stronger you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, the more you can do. So these are not tasks to do just for the sake of them. They make you stronger. Each of them make you stronger so you can handle things more. It is not our job to assess other people. People need to assess themselves. They need to improve themselves. We are not there to judge and analyze the wife or the kid or whatever. We can use our brain to think maybe that's what's wrong with this person or that, but we don't know. We're not them. So that's not really our task. I wouldn't really look at it as dividing it up. It's more bringing it together, which is why it's in a circle. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I sleep well at night and I'm eating well, I'm exercising, I'm taking care of my physical health. That's going to naturally make me happier, right? It's going to make me emotionally happier. And because I'm stronger, I'm more energetic, I'm feeling like I had good night's sleep. I feel better emotionally. It's going to make me in a better mental state, and it will also make me feel more connected spiritually to the higher power. So it's actually all connected. Instead of dividing it up, it's the opposite. I hope that makes sense. Okay. The greatest power, and we haven't gone to the spiritual part yet, but I think we need to go there next. I think we have a good understanding of what spirituality means, but some people I feel don't have the right definition. Now, spirituality and religion are different things. They can overlap for sure. But what is spiritual health? Just like I said, mentally healthy person, you know what that looks like? A strong, mentally strong person knows their boundaries, limitations, all of that. What does a spiritually healthy person look like? What do they do? What are their qualities? A spiritual person.
Positive and hopeful.
Okay. What do you guys think? Do you think that's true? Dhanpati.
Anything that Gulnaz ji says is true.
Okay. Yes, I would have to agree. I'm a little biased.
That's my
Yes.
way of being
Yes.
spiritual.
Yes. Very good. So,
I think a spiritual person will have more acceptance of others.
perfect. Yeah.
He'll have more love and caring for others, and acceptance of the things which can't be changed.
Okay. That is really, really important what you just said. I want everybody to write down the word acceptance in the spiritual section. And we have started to talk a little bit about acceptance today already, when we started to talk about acceptance of loss and transition in life and adjustment and all of those things we were talking about. Acceptance is a huge part of spirituality. Now, how can I learn to accept? That was a question I was asking you guys before. Some people were talking about hobbies and interests and stuff. Those are good escapes. Those are good ways to manage our stress, but they don't necessarily make us accept things. How can I train myself to accept things that I don't like, that I'm not happy about? Maybe somebody dies or passes away that I love, that I was attached to. How do I accept this reality? How do I accept that I'm getting older? How do I accept that I have an illness? How do I accept things? How does one do that? So going along with what you were saying about Guru Nanak Ji, whoever was speaking before, when we talk about all religions, actually, all faiths, say the same thing. They talk about peace, they talk about love, they talk about acceptance. All faiths say this. So if somebody is praying or meditating and saying like a mantra over and over and over again, this is going to help them to become spiritually stronger, to learn to accept. But what are the things that we are trying to accept, and how do we accept them? How do we accept the truth? Dhanpati?
Yeah, I can say for myself, for me it works every time that I always keep in mind that there is some higher power.
Higher power. Okay.
And whatever is, see, everything happens in a system, like sun always rises in the east, never in the west.
Right.
So maybe whatever is happening is happening for a reason. I don't know that reason. That is one thing, and that is the source of my pain, because I don't know why it is happening like that. So I believe in higher being, and whatever happens is happening for maybe my development, for my spiritual upliftment. So whenever I feel pain or very emotionally very disturbed, I remind myself that some, and we say God is father. So father, whatever he's doing, if it's punishing me or rewarding me, there has to be a reason, and I don't know that reason. I'm not capable of understanding that.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
helps me.
So you talk to yourself, so we call that
Yeah.
self-talk, where you explain, you use your mental health, your mental capacity to understand that you are just a human being and you don't know everything. And so to surrender. So this is the big thing about spirituality. It's learning when to let go. This is hard thing. because our brain, our man, and our ego sometimes makes us think we're in control, but we're not in control all the time. So we have to keep reminding ourselves of that. And the spiritual part is what we call metacognition. So there's cognition is mental, but this is metacognition. It's a higher level of awareness to accept our truth and who we are. Surin, go ahead, Surin.
Yeah, not about the topic, just on a side note. Prabhaji mentioned that God is the Father, or whosoever it is, the
Mhm.
higher power is our Father. I
Yeah,
wonder why it is always Father, why
doesn't have to
the
be.
mother is not there. And
It's how
when
you
we,
define spirituality.
how easily we, whenever we have to quote, whether it is Nanak or Ram or
No,
many
no.
other, why there is always a male figure? Why
No,
we are not getting into the habit of finding and locating? As I said,
Question. Good
sorry,
question.
I just meant I didn't
No,
mean to
you're
get into
you're
that.
you're right. It's a good
Yeah.
question, but I mean, all faiths are different. In the indigenous community, they believe in there is no man or woman. It's not gendered. The higher power is the energy,
power.
right? So it's everyone, however they visualize God or higher power is how they visualize it. But you're absolutely right. It's a good point. Uh, Miss Prabha, you have some thoughts?
मैं आपको जो भी बताऊंगी इस बारे में अपने ऊपर गुजरा हुआ बताऊंगी
अच्छा।
कि अभी पीछे जिस समय बर्फ वगैरह पड़ रही थी तो उस समय रेनिंग वो स्लिपरी रेन थी मुझे इसके बारे में एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था तो मैं बाहर निकली मैंने सोचा भाई वाह आज तो भगवान ने मजा बांध दिया बर्फ तो है ही नहीं मजे से घूमूंगी मॉर्निंग मैं ऐसी जोर से स्लिप हुई इतनी बुरी तरीके से स्लिप हुई मैं कि मेरा उल्टा हाथ का जो दरवाजा खुल गया मेरा उल्टा हाथ जो था वो टूट गया तो जब मैं गिरी बहुत जोर की गिरी तो उसी समय मैंने भगवान को बोला थैंक्स
अच्छा।
गॉड मेरा उल्टा हाथ तोड़ा है वो भी हाथ तोड़ा है जैसे मैं गिरी थी तो कुछ भी टूट सकता था हिप्स टूट सकता था रीढ़ की हड्डी टूट सकती थी तुमने बड़ी कृपा करी कि मैं अपने आप उठ पाई अपने आप उठ के कमरे में जा पाई अपने आप जाके अपने बहू को जगा पाई कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हो गया है भगवान को मैंने शुक्रिया अदा करा बिकॉज जो कुछ ज्यादा हो सकता था उतना तो हुआ नहीं ना आई एम एबल टू गेट मैं अपने आप खड़ी हो पाई अपने आप दरवाजे खोल के अंदर जा पाई अपने आप सीढ़ियां चढ़ पाई अपने आप बहू को बुला पाई अपने आप उसको शांत करके बता पाई शोर नहीं मचा के हाय 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 हाय, मेरा ये हो गया तो एक्सेप्ट द इनविटेबल जो है उसको अगर हम स्वीकार कर लेते हैं तो बहुत शांति मिल जाती
Mm-hmm. No, and that's a good skill is to focus on the positive and to have gratitude. I think somebody else in the chat was saying that too just now. If we like, it's very easy for human brain to focus on the negative things, what we don't have, instead of what we do have. And that is a really good skill to learn how to do. So if you've always done that, that's great. But some people have to train their brain to have gratitude and focus on positive. You know, some people don't automatically do that. There are some people who are very negative people. They just will see, they will look for the worst in everything. And that it will be harder for them to be happy. Dhanpati? Do you have some?
In a very lighter tone, what our friend said that why God is always father, not a mother, and I think my personal opinion because God sometimes really does things which we don't like. You know, disciplines us with a stick, which I think mother finds it a bit difficult to do. That's why we always say that this is father, not mother.
No,
It was in a very light tone. Yeah.
Yeah.
no. We worship Durga, Kali. These are all mother figures.
Of course. Yeah.
So, and they are equivalent to the nature. We worship
Yes.
nature, which is mother.
Yes.
That gives birth to the offspring, isn't it?
The
So,
higher power is above gender.
yes, about power.
Yes.
It's all power.
Yes. Yes. And actually in Hinduism or any faith really, at the end of the day, it's about the higher power, which is not a human being. right? So it's just we have to,
Just a power.
stories and stuff, yeah. And we have amazing teachers and gurus and things who've taught us the same things, but humans for some reason find it hard to learn. But let's not confuse religion and spirituality. Again, spirituality is a very personal thing, and nobody should tell anybody how they should practice spirituality. It could be it's about quieting your mind. That is the thing, because you are already God. You are already a part of the energy, right? You're already there. But it's about getting rid of all that extra noise and loud stuff that's around us all the time so that we see our truth, we see our beauty, we recognize who we are. So how are we going to do that? Number one, meditation. I can't emphasize how important meditation is to spirituality. So can anyone tell me what is meditation? How do you practice meditation? What is the purpose of meditation? Some of you might have tried different types of
Yeah,
meditation.
meditation
Yeah.
is,
Uh-huh.
I feel meditation is calming your brain,
Yeah.
just make it quiet and vacant,
Yeah.
without any thoughts, without
Yes.
any emotion,
That's the
without
key.
any expectations. Just like sit still and think about your own existence.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
meditation.
That's very, very true.
Suranji,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Suranji and
Mhm.
Mitaji also want to share
Okay, go
something,
ahead.
and
Please
then
share.
Danpati ji.
Sure, please share. Go ahead.
Meeta ji would like to say first. Like I think she raised her hand before me.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. You
Okay.
just give your thought.
Doctor, I have, I mean, certain reservation, and I find this is very debatable.
Mm-hmm.
When we say we need to accept the way things happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, if my wife drinks every day and she abuses me and she doesn't behave with my children well or with my family well,
Right.
so we'll say, okay, the God must be having some meaning in it. I am being
No,
abused
yeah,
in a
that's not what we do.
relationship. I am being abused in a relationship.
Yeah.
Then, if I failed in 10th standard or I couldn't complete my high school, that means that is how the God wanted me to be.
No.
There must be.
Yeah, so we're
No,
not talking, that's not what we mean.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
escapism.
Correct, correct. That's not what
You
we're
are
talking
escaping
about.
from real life. You are not
Yes,
taking any responsibility,
right,
and you are putting into the God,
right.
and you are refusing to own your act.
Correct, correct. So
Right.
that's not what we're talking about. Just
So
want to clarify that.
let's say if I got over drunk and I fell in a like I fell somewhere. It was not
Right.
the God's will. It was my stupidness, and I
Absolutely.
must own it.
Correct, correct. So thank you for bringing that up. That is a complete misunderstanding. If that's the impression you got, that's not what we're saying at all. Acceptance does not mean laying down and just dying and not being motivated to change things that are not good in your life. It's the opposite. So we're saying accepting the reality of the situation. We're not saying to accept your circumstances. What is in your control, you must do.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You must do as much as you can to improve your situation. But after you've done everything in your power, then you have to ultimately surrender. We can't change people. That's something that I've had to learn and I've had to teach my clients. We can change ourselves, but we can't change other people. So if my partner is abusive and they're mean and all of that, it doesn't mean I have to choose to be with that person. I can choose not to be with that person, but I can't actually necessarily go inside their brain and change them unless they want to change. I can't change them. You can tell them how it makes you feel if they hurt you, and you can try to explain yourself, but we cannot change other people, right? So the idea here is that we have a lot of clutter in our head. As we grow up, We first come into the world clean. We call it tabula rasa in psychology. So we have nothing in our minds. We come with our genes, with our predispositions and stuff, but our personality is not fully developed. We learn everything either from our parents, our family, our school, our friends, or on TV. We learn what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. You know, if God is a woman or a man, we learn all of these things. And it brainwashes us to some degree because we start to think that this is reality, but this is actually not reality. When I'm saying reality, it means above and beyond what we see. Because what we see is an illusion. It's not really reality. It's what we've been told is reality. So the idea behind progressive relaxation, when we relax the mind, we cleanse ourselves from our intrusive thoughts, the things our brain is telling us to think and say, what other people are telling us, what society is saying. When we try to take out all of that garbage and clutter and we fully relax into our body, the idea is that the answers will come to us. We will train ourselves to just be instead of reacting to what's happening around us. Dhanpati, go ahead.
To me, meditation is basically that I have to be present in now, not
Yes,
past, not imagining about future, not
right.
regretting the past and crying over that.
That's
What
right.
I am doing, if I am focused on that,
Yeah.
that I think that is meditation.
Yeah. So you're embracing, very important, you're embracing the present moment. You're not thinking about the past. You're not even thinking about the future. You're just here right now. So you can close your eyes if you want. You don't have to close your eyes, but some people say it helps them to block out all the stimulation from outside. And they just, who am I? Where am I sitting? How do I feel in my body? You're just checking in with yourself. And one of the techniques that's called progressive muscle relaxation. And so we can do that by holding tension in our body in one spot and releasing. Okay. So this is something I'll get to you, Ms. Prabha, in a second. If you can just tighten your body, you can close your eyes if you like, tighten it and count to four. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do this over and over again and breathe. Breathing is super, super important. Some people do not know how to breathe properly. And what happens is when you breathe very, very fast, your thoughts are also very, very fast. And what we want to do is slow down our thoughts. We want to completely relax our mind so we can think more clearly. Otherwise, it's impossible to think clearly if we're under stress and under pressure. We will not make good decisions. We will have more reactions to things instead of observing behavior. We will be reacting to it. So I'll get to you, Miss Prabha, first, and then I'll continue what I was saying. Did you have something to add?
I think Mitaji first.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
I've been wanting to say a few words.
Sorry,
Thank you,
go ahead.
Gulnaz. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Thank
Yes.
you, Gulnaz. So, thank God you mentioned breathing because
Yeah.
this is so important, such an integral part of meditation.
Yes.
Meditation without focusing on your breath is like eating food without
Yes.
any salt or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So, without focusing on breath, you cannot really meditate. So,
Yeah.
first of all, this is the most important aspect of breathing.
Yeah.
Calming of the mind comes very, very late.
Yeah.
And first of all, we just need to focus at the breath and the
Yes.
gap between the breath, two breaths, the inhalation and exhalation and inhalation are the main points where you
Yes.
actually experience what we actually think of dhyan or meditation, what we call dhyan or meditation, in the cliched way. That is the way, that is the moment, that is in that stillness and quiet.
Awareness. Yeah.
Yes, in that stillness and silence, only
Yeah.
then you can experience that. So, about meditation, there is so much to say about meditation
Yeah.
because I conduct meditations and I do
Amazing.
meditate almost every why almost I do meditate every day, and I understand it's not that I am a very big wig about it, but the thing is that there are so many misconceptions about meditation. Every time we say come and meditate, people say, अरे हमारा ध्यान नहीं लगता. अरे कहाँ ध्यान लगाना है? This is what I keep telling them. ध्यान तो
Within
लगाना ही
yourself.
नहीं है.
Yeah. Yeah.
आप just observe your breath. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
So this
No,
is most
it's a
important.
training. Yeah, it's a training. And what's interesting
Yeah,
is when
this
we're
is what.
born into the world,
Yeah.
the children know how to do the belly breathing. They
Yes,
know
belly
when to
breathing is the
stop.
most
And the
important
kids
aspect.
do it, but as we grow up,
Yeah.
we get, we learn how to breathe from here, from our chest, and that is
Yes.
actually causes more anxiety. So
Yes. Yes.
we need
Yes.
to
Yes.
go back to who we our true nature, which is our being, our sense of being, and just being present. It helps us to take that breath and to
Absolutely.
feel, to be in our state of consciousness. So the idea here is that the more you get closer to your true nature and your true self, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not stuck in your ego and your past, and trying to change this person, or all of that is gone. It's just you are right there meditating with your breath by yourself,
Exactly. Exactly.
and
Exactly.
you have a good sense of who you are. So this is super important for us to feel
Yeah.
more connected to the higher power.
Yeah. Breathing from chest makes our solar plexus very, very active,
Yeah.
and which is not exactly required for
No.
us, anyways. So another thing I wanted to speak earlier about was the male and the female aspect of
Oh,
the mother nature or whatever you god you said,
yeah.
right? So the thing is either male or female. So that day I was again you can say it's on a lighter note. So why woman was created? God created man, and he wanted and he understood what he has created. So he just thought that there should be someone to control this creation of mine, who is going to discipline this
Mm,
creation of mine, who is going to teach him all the stuff he's expected to do. So
mhm,
that's why a woman was created, just to have a control over him, because basically what he created was not meant to have any control on himself. I mean, so this is, and actually this is on a lighter note, but this is actually true too. So yeah, this is the female aspect of the mother nature, the universe, or the god, or whatever we call. So this is very, very important again. And as far as spirituality is concerned, I think we all of us are very, very spiritual. The point is that we don't realize our own soul. We are all on a journey. Our soul carries all the stuff that we have. So we don't realize our journey. That's it. This is what I feel. I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And everyone has a right to share express their views on spirituality. Like I said, it's a very personal thing. You have your own beliefs. You're entitled to your own beliefs. But
Yes,
the main thing is this: is that you are a spiritual being. You don't have to do anything to get there. You already are. It's a matter of you recognizing what you are, and however you do that. So some people will meditate, some people will pray, some people will do journaling, some people will do different things to connect with who they are, whatever that looks like. But the idea is to take away all of that clutter and garbage, and things that we've been conditioned with and told. This is about peeling off all those layers and just being present with yourself. And how do we do that? We can do that through breathing, through being in nature. Nature brings us oxygen into our body. by breathing, especially if you meditate outside. You can breathe in the plants because the plants give off oxygen. If you drink water, water has oxygen atoms in it. So the more water you drink, you'll find you think more clearly, you're more connected. Eating more natural, healthy foods, more plant-based foods. This is going to bring oxygen into your system. So anything that brings oxygen into your body is going to help you to relax, help you to calm down. Okay, I'll take a couple more comments, then we do have to get through the material for today. Meeta, your hand is up. Surin and Ms. Prabha, who would like to go first?
मेरे हिसाब से
No, my hand is not up. I just gave a
Okay.
thumbs up to what you said.
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Prabha, go ahead.
मेरे हिसाब से भगवान वो है
Mm-hmm.
जब हम बिल्कुल लाचार होते हैं, जब हम किसी के लायक नहीं होते, जब हम किसी भी तरीके के कुछ करने में समर्थ नहीं होते, उस समय जो हमें थाम लेता है वो भगवान है। जैसे हमारे माँ बाप,
Mm-hmm.
जिस समय हम पैदा होकर आते हैं, सांस लेते हुए आते हैं,
Mm-hmm.
सांस की ही तो वैल्यू है, नहीं तो वो है ही मरा हुआ।
Mm-hmm.
सांस ही तो बताता है हम जिंदा हैं। हम जिंदा पोथड़े को जो संभाल लेता है
Mm-hmm.
और हमें दिशा देता है,
Mm-hmm.
दशा बताता है, हमारी दिशा देता है, और जब हम डिफिकल्टी में होते हैं तो वो हमारा सहारा देते हैं। मेरे हिसाब से गॉड की परिभाषा है कि जो हमें संभाल ले और जिसके आगे हम सरेंडर कर दें
Mm-hmm.
अपने आप को।
But it's unfortunate that some people only look to God when there's a problem. Anna, this is a unfortunate thing. Why not always keep God in mind, even through good times and bad times? Why is it we remember God when we are going through only hard times? This is something to think about. Mr. Surin, and then we do have to get on
Yeah,
with the
I have a
yes.
quick question.
Yes.
Just a quick question. But
Sure.
before that, a comment on what you said that we only think of God when we are in trouble. You are making life difficult for non-believers.
So when I say God, I'm not saying a person
Right.
or religion. Like I said, it could be anything connected
I
to
got
God.
it. So my quick question,
Yeah.
we were actually talking about breathing and
Yes,
meditation.
exactly. Yeah.
Is focusing on the breath is a way to do meditation,
Yes.
or focusing on the breath itself is a meditation? That's the question. Thank you.
So the breathing is your awareness. It's about increasing your awareness of yourself in your body. Where am I? Who am I? What is my being? How am I connected to the world? So whatever your connection is to nature, whatever grounds you, whatever makes you feel safe is your spirituality. So you don't have to believe in God to be spiritual. Your connection with a higher power, whether it's energy, whether it's the universe, we're little tiny ants in the universe. So we have to know who we are. And breathing connects us to that source. The oxygen connects us to that source. So we can carry on and discuss this further, but I just want to carry on with this mindfulness thing, because unless we are mindful and aware of what we are, that we're not our ego, we've been conditioned to think things, learn things, and all of that. We have a right to change. We don't have to do the same thing we've always done. We can depart from that. So I'll take your last point, Dhanpati, then we are really low on time. So I really do want to get through the slides. Go ahead.
Breathing, why to me, I mean, this is my impression, this is my thinking. Breathing is a sort of meditation. It helps in meditation because that's one thing that is happening in present.
Yes.
So when we focus on breathing, we are being in present.
Yep.
And we are not repenting our past or going over our past or bothering about our future.
Correct.
So because it is one exercise that breathing is happening in present, that's why I think it's the meditation.
Yeah, it does, and it slows down our thoughts. Like I said, the slower you breathe, the slower you think. When you do things fast, your brain is going fast, and you're not able to process things clearly. You're going, right? So we want to separate ourselves from the situations. We want to have clarity of the situation. So what are the common barriers? A lot of times people cannot have that time to introspect and reflect because maybe they don't have time. They say, I just don't have time. I don't have privacy at home. There's too many people there. I'm too busy. I can't sit still. I can't focus. These are the common things people say, why they are unable to engage in mindfulness-based practice. But this is about self-love. Spirituality is about cultivating a relationship with who you are, the real essence of who you are, which is not just your roles that you play, somebody's daughter, sister, mother, husband. It's not the social roles. It is the essence of who you are. It's how you talk to yourself. How do you speak to yourself when you're going through a tough time? Do you say to yourself, I'm such an idiot, I'm so stupid, I can't do anything right? Do you talk to yourself in a negative tone, or do you talk to yourself in a positive tone? Do you talk to yourself with compassion? You know, do you love yourself? And this is not easy to do. Some people have been very negative for a very long time with themselves. But how do we start to build a healthy relationship with ourselves? Well, first of all, we have to like who we are. Some people depend on other people to say you're a good person or you're this, or how can I learn to love myself, learn to like myself? Any thoughts or ideas? What are some ways that you can learn to love yourself? Getting comfortable with yourself.
So
Dhanpati?
when we, sorry, okay.
Mita, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see your hand. I just started to speak, began to speak, anyways. So the first and foremost things in loving yourself is taking care of yourself.
Right.
When you start taking good care of yourself, your physical, emotional, mental health, you have to somehow, to a large extent, I will not say 100%, because we are beings, we are such beings that we are bound to get affected by our surroundings and so many
Right.
factors.
Exactly.
But the thing is, when you take charge of your physical health, mental, emotional, they follow. And spiritual, of course, is we have to be very, very mindful of our spiritual health. We are human beings. We are in this incarnation. This is again for believers, Surenji. I mean, whatever way you want to believe in, you could be a non believer and still take charge of your own health. So, in a
Yeah,
good way.
in my opinion, as you said, there's a lot of negativity around us, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of,
yeah.
even environmental pollution and pesticides. There's so much negative around us, and for us to be able to put all of that aside, we need to be strong inside. And so, how can we do that? How can we cultivate that sense of self that's separate from the world around us? This is a challenging thing, and there's not one way to do it.
Yeah.
Some people are mentioning higher power because that is one technique, one way, if they follow a faith or something. But you don't have to. Like I said, there's many ways to connect with who you are. One of the ways that I like to think of it is volunteer work. If you're somebody who is a community person and you are helping people in your community, in your family, it gives you a sense of purpose that, I'm here to make other people's lives better. I'm a kind person. I'm a nice person. It makes you like yourself if you do good things for other people. Um, that is another way to do it,
Yeah.
right? There's many.
When you bless others, you get blessed. Very simple.
Yeah, so it's because that exchange of energy, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Exchange of energy. Anything is energy. When we're present with other people, when we talk to them, we look in their eyes, we smile, we nod, we validate their feelings. This is a spiritual exchange.
Yes.
This is also a spiritual exchange. There's many, many ways to do it. Okay. So we have to get unstuck. This is the thing. Whatever we've learned, we have to train ourselves. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can train yourself to unlearn a lot of the stuff you've learned. So if it's, if you learn negative thinking, giving up, being hopeless, I can't change anything, I can't improve, this is my life. No, you can train yourself to say no. I can take little steps today to make my life better. Maybe there's just different pieces of the puzzle. Maybe I've never tried this way. Maybe I can try it this way. Um, finding new ways of doing things. And asking myself, what are things that have prevented me from doing something that I wanted to do, a goal I wanted to achieve. Dhanpati?
Yeah, ma'am. I think another very important thing about self-love is forgive ourselves, because we are just
Yes,
human
yes.
beings. We
Yeah.
make mistakes. So learn from the mistakes and forgive yourself.
So important.
Very
So important. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Thank you. I had almost forgotten to mention that. That's a huge thing in the spiritual section is forgiveness. And a lot of religions do talk about forgiveness, but this is not a religion thing again. It is because if you are peaceful, so peace is a big part of spirituality. For me to have peace inside. Can I be peaceful if I'm angry? Can I be peaceful if I can't forgive people or forgive myself? No. Anger is not a part of it. Emotional part will be maybe still angry, upset, have the ego, but there's no ego. It is, I don't like what happened, but I accept what happened. Because I can't change the past. I'm in the present moment. And the present moment, I can choose not to be in that situation, but I cannot be upset with myself with what I did before. Can't change time. Time is gone. So this is hard. This is not easy to do. Spiritual health is very, very hard to cultivate. Physical health is easier because we know exercise, eating well. Those are simple, simpler things, but spiritual health is harder, very much harder because you have to unlearn stuff and learn new things. Learn to love yourself. It takes time. It takes a lot of work, especially many years of you maybe not doing that. It takes a lot of training. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, this is something I teach as a therapist. You might have seen this model before. It's called SMART. So this is about setting, it's an acronym. So S is specific. So we want to set aside a specific goal for ourselves. Let's say it's to feel less lonely. Maybe my goal is to feel less lonely. Maybe that is okay. Now, M stands for measurable. I have to have some kind of unit of analysis, some way that I can measure if I'm making improvement or not. How will I measure that? If I'm less lonely, more lonely, how will I measure it? A stands for agreed. Okay. Did I choose this thing or is this what I want to be? Right? Is it realistic? Is it a realistic goal or is it unrealistic goal, unrealistic expectation? Time frame, we should have a time frame because if we just say we want to do this, but we don't set aside, okay, by next month, by next year, we won't know when to have this done by. We won't have a goal in mind when we want to complete this thing. So, this is just a little way that you can start to set aside some specific goals for yourself that you want to achieve. It gets you motivated to work towards those goals. Okay, so I would suggest baby steps. So say, okay, by next week, I want to maybe every day do practice this one thing. then maybe in a month, I want to see this progress. In 2 months, I want to see this progress. So this will help, but it doesn't mean you'll necessarily achieve everything you want, but at least you have a plan in place. Okay. So just some general reminders that we've been talking about. If you notice some symptoms that you have, maybe you're feeling tired, you're feeling overwhelmed, you may not know that you're stressed. You may not know consciously that something is wrong. And that's when I suggest getting into some form of meditation, introspection, assessing your mental health, your physical, emotional, spiritual. The only way you can be aware is if you're calm, you think through everything, you find ways to calm yourself, maybe positive mantras or affirmations you can say to yourself. Mantra just means a repetition over and over again. It could be a quote, a poem, it could be anything that means something to you, and practice the same activity every single day so it becomes a habit. Okay. Joining a local senior center or meditation group or any of those things, those could also be helpful. These are also some tools. I don't know if anyone is interested, but there are some apps if that's something that you're into. It's a free app. It's a meditation app if you want to learn and train yourself how to do that. There's also ways to write yoga journals. Stretching becomes difficult as we get older, but learning how to stretch and breathe into the stretches, this will also help as well. Yoga is really the perfect type of exercise because it helps you with your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical. It helps all parts of that. So there's journal articles on yoga, and these are the references. So that is the content for today. Right on time. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. And I appreciate all the comments. This was wonderful. This was a lot more engagement than I expected. I wasn't sure how open people would feel to share their feelings or challenge one another, but it was great. I'm sorry if we didn't have time for all the questions and getting in depth because there's just so many areas that this can touch on. The important thing is we're not here to judge anyone. Everyone has a right to their own beliefs, their own values. Different things trigger different people. This workshop was meant to talk about balance and wellness, which is why we're talking about emotional health, but also in the context of physical health, spiritual health, and all of those pieces, because we can't just talk about emotions without talking about the rest of the circle, because it's integrated. It fits into the wider picture. Um, it's important to focus on today and what you can do, what is in your capacity to work on. There's a lot in your control. There's a lot of things that are not in our control, but there are some things that are in our control. And that's what we have to focus on. So thank you everyone for your participation. Thank you for today. I'm going
Thank
to
you.
answer
You too also.
questions
Thank you.
if you want, but I know that the time limit is now. So thanks again.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Dr.
much.
Vanita.
Yeah.
थैंक यू
It was so
बहुत बढ़िया लगा
engaging and so helpful.
Yeah.
All
जी,
good.
प्रभा
वेरी
जी.
इंटरेस्टिंग बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था ये
Okay.
प्रोग्राम और इस तरीके से आपने स्टेप टू स्टेप हम लोगों को डील करा इट्स रियली रिमार्केबल
Thank
थैंक
you.
यू
Thank you so much.
Thank
जी,
you.
एला जी.
Are you able to share your number, Vinita ji?
I can share my email.
Please.
In the chat.
That was really good, Dr. Vinita. And I hope that many people have gained a lot of knowledge. And those who just observe other people meditating and want to do it, but are not able to take that first step. I hope this session has motivated them, inspired them. पहला स्टेप, पहला कदम उठाना इस दिशा में, इस डायरेक्शन में, उसके लिए एक अच्छी मोटिवेशन आपका सेशन लगा मुझे. आई एम ट्रांसलेटिंग इट इन हिंदी जस्ट ऑन अ पर्पस. तो क्योंकि ये बहुत लोग ऑब्जर्व कर रहे होते हैं और उनको अच्छा लगता है. वो ये भी कहते हैं कि आपसे मिलके अच्छा लगता है, ये बातें भी अच्छी लगती हैं, पर वो कर नहीं पाते हैं क्योंकि एक फर्स्ट स्टेप लेने में उनको हेजिटेशन सी रहती है. They have their own reservations because religion always comes in between, right? So thoda reservations hoti hain logon ko. Most of the meditations, the group that I follow is Feed the Soul Energy Healing, and our meditations are mostly a-religious, and we try to make it a point that we are being very, very a-religious. No particular religion is mentioned, but still, it's okay. Thank you. That was wonderful.
It's whatever you can connect to.
Yeah.
Some people, it's they can just focus on their breath. So for some people, they want to visualize their God or their idol or something. It just helps
Why
them
not?
to focus.
Why not?
So
Why not?
there is no right way or wrong way.
Absolutely.
People can pray in different ways. People can practice awareness in different ways. So there's no, we're talking about religion, but I hope it's clear that religion and spirituality are not the same thing necessarily. They can overlap, but it's not the same thing. It's one way.
Yeah.
It's not the
True
only
that. True that.
It's not the only way.
Absolutely.
But why do we talk about it? Because we talk about forgiveness, acceptance, peace, tolerance, all of these things, all faiths teach these things. These are positive things, right? So
Yeah.
anyways, I wish everyone peace and love and joy, and having a positive mindset every day. If that's your goal, that's a good goal to focus on. How will you get there? That's the question. It's not what I have to do, but how am I going to do it?
Yeah.
What is going to be my plan? That's a mental exercise, right? How? The problem solving part is your brain. The emotional part is calming yourself enough to be able to think clearly. They're connected but different. Anyways, thanks again. If you have to log off, it's
Thank you
fine.
so
I'm
much.
here to answer
Thank
questions
you.
if you have anything.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
you
Vinita,
very
and
much.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone.
Should I stay on or did you?
No, I'm going to end the meeting. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.